Let's get to some Warrior stuff. This question. Thank you. Clay Thompson. This is I have not heard this sound. Okay. So I'm and I don't know if you have either, but it's Colin Cowherd, and he's talking about the Warriors offseason. Listen to what he said, right? And then you tell me if you like it or not.
I think the Warriors are going to be a big player somewhere. I think we're concentrating on Philly and New York, and I understand that. It's just a much easier avenue to get to the conference finals and the finals. Like, there's no disputing that. But I think Golden State, full of smart people, Jason, looks at OKC, looks at Denver, looks at Dallas. It's like, come on, we're not even close. So I think teams like Golden State are like right now, we're all talking Klay Thompson, Chris Paul, what to do. I think they're going to take a huge swing. That's my get. Maybe it's Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, I'll tell you what, and I record Cowherd every day.
Of course, and then you listen to it twice.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying to you, Joe Lacob showed the world what type of fish he was trying to get, and it was a big fish. And that was one LeBron James. And I know what my partner's going to say because you said it to me. Who at that point, they hadn't hit their stride, 14-4, whatnot. I don't give a F. This is about maximizing Steph, Dre, and how you do that, Steiny, is you go big game hunting. And I know people are going to laugh, and I've been fond of this player. He had a good last game in the playoffs against Dallas, but if the Warriors somehow could get Karl Anthony Towns, he would be the best version of Karl Anthony Towns playing alongside Steph and Steve Kerr and Draymond in this system. Dre would toughen him up. So I believe Cowherd in regard to this ain't about there's one of these youngsters is Elliot Ness, untouchable. Somebody's going if they deem the fish that they're getting is big enough and can make them back into being a problem.
And cue up that's above my pay grade. Who are you giving up for Karl Anthony Towns? Like, who's good enough on your roster, not named Steph Curry, to get a guy like Jimmy Butler or Karl Anthony Towns?
Kuminga would be in the package. Some picks.
I got a couple deals here.
Go. Wow.
That I was scouring the internet.
For Jimmy Butler, Steiny, I know.
First of all, what is a big move? What would a big player be?
Oh, Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler.
Because that's what I want to ask.
LeBron James.
That's what I want to ask Warrior fans at 888-957-9570. If the Warriors want to go, I don't even want to say it, big game hunting, even though they have no wherewithal to do it.
Well, he called
even though
Jimmy
they're going
Bus.
to do it. Yeah, to make a trade.
Well, that's the only way they're going to be able to do it. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. But their players aren't good enough to get a big boy.
So you don't think if you tried to gut your roster with Wiggins, Kuminga, do the thing where you re-sign Paul and then put him in the package and trade him, Steiner, you could get something big back, like a Karl Anthony Towns?
The Warriors' plan 1 and 1A, as Joe Lacob has said, is to get under the second apron. If they do not waive Chris Paul on the 28th of June, which is when they have to do it, then they're not out of the second apron.
Which means what for the...
It means they're going to have to incur some penalties. And I believe one of them is you can't aggregate players, and then you can't take 1 cent more than the other team has given you. You usually get 10% a disparity, but
none of that
gets wiped. That gets wiped clean. But yes, they could theoretically trade Chris Paul and something and get back a player, but that player's going to be making $30 million, just like Chris Paul is. And they have to get under this apron, according to Joe Lacob, because it's too punitive. Well, I mean, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but I mean, if you want to talk about Chris Paul, I'll throw some at you. Would you do Andrew Wiggins for Kelly Olynyk and Jalen McDaniels? Jalen McDaniels, not Jaden McDaniels.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, I would.
I still like Wiggins, man, the good Wiggins.
There are other ways. The Warriors could theoretically trade Chris Paul and then make a series of other moves. to get under the cap, but those moves seem to be really prohibitive and they're hard to do. Would you give up a couple of them out here? Chris Paul for Caruso and Vucevic and 2 first-rounders.
I would do that for Steph Curry.
Okay.
I would do that.
Well, first of all, 888-957-9570. Throwing some stuff out there that I've seen on the internet and some trade proposals. I'll give you more than one more. And apparently, according to a report I saw, the Warriors were in touch with the Bulls at the trading deadline.
Oh,
obviously Caruso is somebody who came up, but I could see the Bulls saying, "Yeah, no interest in Wiggins." I mean, I wouldn't. If I were the Bulls, I wouldn't acquire Wiggins for Caruso straight up.
So and I'm being real. Other than Wiggins, the motor, are you really telling me on this Thursday that you think Caruso is a better all-around basketball player than Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah, he's better the last 2 years.
I think he's more reliable, but he's not better.
Yes, he is, because Wiggins was bad this past year, and he missed a lot of the season before. I mean, the idea. Okay, so you're all the reports out there are that the Warriors are trying to get off Wiggins. So you think that's a bad idea?
No, you got to be careful. I need to know what's coming back.
Well, I'm telling you what's coming back.
And real this caveat, Steiny, I've been scared. You know what? Watching these NBA playoffs years ago, we always said, "Oh, the playoffs are coming. Up your physical game. The physicality goes up 10." That kind of subsided, and I felt like the regular season was the playoffs. But what these referees are allowing to go on, I look at the Warrior players with the ball in their hands now when it has become football, Steiny, and I'm like, who can dribble strong? Who can take those hits now that are going to be allowed and still try to create their shot? And that has me thinking late night in my room, lights off, TV on. I'm like, Andrew Wiggins can still take those hits like a running back and still get his shot. Now, it going in, that's neither here nor there. My thing is the Moody's, the Pods, who I all love, I question if guys like that, if Wiggins departs, can do that. Steiny, they are allowing everything to just be, it's on. And I don't know if it's good for the game, but I'm telling you, man, you got to be stronger now and more focused than ever before.
Oh, that sounds like Wiggins. Oh, that sounds like Wiggins.
It's the good Wiggins. Like it's the good Wiggins that we saw in 2022. You could call me a fool and it's okay, but I will hold out hope on the good Wiggins resurfacing than telling me Caruso coming to town.
He plays defense.
So does Wiggins.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, man.
Like, what have you been watching for 2 years?
What if the Bulls won?
What have you been watching for 2 years?
What if the Bulls won? And why is Caruso on his third or fourth team?
I don't know.
You sound like Spadoni. Caruso's okay and he's a good player, but don't want to act like he's taking a team or did what Wiggins did for the Warriors in 2022.
Let me ask you.
Miss me with that. Hey, Caruso ain't Wiggins.
Miss me with 2 years ago.
Caruso ain't Wiggins.
When does the 2022 title go away for you? When does it not matter anymore?
I'm not a hater, so it never evaporates.
Okay, well then never move on with his team.
But when has Caruso done anything for a team to play meaningful basketball in the crunch? Put some respect on Wiggins' name is all that I'm saying. And I ain't talking just to you. Caruso my ass.
Have you forgotten
You got to get Wiggins right. Somebody's got to crack the code. I'm holding on to what he can do. Caruso. Been on 18 teams. Just quit disrespecting Wiggins, people. The bad Wiggins I get. The light not on Wiggins I get. But they got to crack that code fast and in a hurry. He can't hold a candle to Wiggins.
He can't play with Kuminga. Wake up.
Well,
wake up.
That's another problem.
Seriously,
I have nothing for that.
Wake up. I mean, that's... And there's also something, maybe Caruso isn't as good as Wiggins at his best. Have you ever heard of a fit, that somebody fits better than another guy. He doesn't have to be as good, but he's a better fit.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you think Wiggins is fitting with Kuminga right now?
Well, Kuminga could be gone too.
Okay. That's fine.
I just don't know how you fix this, Donnie.
Well, you don't. Apparently, you fix it by
Wiggins
by
has been on the trade block for 2 years.
Well,
tell me something.
Apparently, you fix it by just living with Andrew Wiggins. Like, seriously. I mean,
I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful of giving Wiggins out for a bag of Starburst, think it's something that's going to come. Like, I feel like people want Wiggins gone just to be gone and not understanding the good Wiggins and what the possibility of something coming back, not even being that.
You're not, if you trade Wiggins tomorrow for nobody, you know what you've lost? Nothing. Because he hasn't helped you the last 2 years. He has hurt you the last 2 years. And take, you know what, honestly, take it up with Mike Dunleavy because they want to move the guy apparently, and I can totally see why. Like you talk about Steph Curry, everything for Steph, and then you want to keep Wiggins? Okay.
Well, I'm just holding out hope that you can get the good Wiggins, man.
Okay. Keep holding out hope. I mean, I just think that's preposterous at this point. Here's some more moves for you. And this one, see, the issue with well, okay, I'll just do it. Brandon Ingram for Chris Paul, Kevon Looney, and 2 first-round picks.
I would do that.
I wouldn't.
The Pelicans wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't. I know they wouldn't. But
I hear you.
That would be a way of getting off Ingram's money for them, which they're probably going to want to do because they've got Zion and their pecking order's all messed up. What about Chris Paul the third? Chris Paul for Chris Paul and Moody and a pick for Miles Turner.
Oh, Steiny, man, that's dreaming right there. I would do that in a millisecond.
Well, they had a chance to trade for Miles Turner years ago, and they said he wasn't good enough.
I know.
And they took Wiseman instead.
He would be the perfect fit.
Well, Chris Paul and this was an interesting name. Would you want to bring Harrison Barnes back?
No.
You like Buddy Hield?
No.
Tobias Harris?
You know what? I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
what would it cost me?
Probably Kuminga.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
This is not easy, man. And I know I'm just talking out loud, Steiny. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this Warrior team that did not make the playoffs, but now there's a new version of the playoffs. The physicality is scaring the bejesus out of me. And Wiggins can, I believe, if you get back there.
Okay. Wiggins is more finesse than physical.
Well,
like, he has nothing to do with physicality.
He can shoot 40% from 3, too. And he can guard the best player on the team. I ain't saying shut him down.
Can somebody, like, honest to God, I feel like I'm on an island here, and you've watched a guy that I've watched for 2 years, and, like, he's been poor.
But he's at the top of your list of what's wrong with his team.
You're not acknowledging it.
He's at the top of the list on what I'm asking you. He's at the top of your list?
According to reports, yes.
Well, I'm talking about what we've watched and why they didn't make the playoffs.
Yes, he was a reason. Wow. I mean, seriously, like, how many shit? Like, oh, God. All right. I mean, I think there's something to be said for, do you really want to move Wiggins or don't you? But damn, Goo. Like, have you been watching the last 2 years?
No, but and I watched this year, and they didn't make the playoffs, but everybody wants to say just getting Wiggins out of here,
Nobody's
they're better.
Saying that.
But now you are.
No,
You're saying it without saying it. When you say Caruso and Fit, man, it's too late in the game.
First of all, it's Caruso and Vucevic.
Yeah, no, that's right. I said I would do that.
Okay,
yeah, well, I did say I would do that.
And if Caruso's a better fit than Wiggins, you get better at both places.
Now, I would. Hey, the Wiggins, I love you if you're listening, but I would do that in 2 seconds because you know I love me some Vucevic, and I respect Caruso. But don't underestimate what Wiggins means to this team, man. And shame on the team for not getting the best of Wiggins. It ain't all just, I'm looking at everybody. Oh my God. I'm looking at everybody now. I'm looking at everybody.
I can't believe this.
No, you're running from what you're saying. I'm not running. You're saying, you said months ago, you might get better if Wiggins just left.
That's right.
So stand on that.
I just did.
That makes no sense.
Oh, really?
And that's not true.
Okay, well, he and Kuminga
You're
can't play together.
disrespecting Wiggins.
You're right. You damn, what?
Don't put Kuminga's growth or non-growth on Wiggins. That ain't got nothing to do with Wiggins.
Yeah, Wiggins is physical. Yeah, okay. Wiggins is physical.
Right. Kuminga can dribble.
This is unbelievable because I mean,
I'm sticking up for Wiggins, man.
He's a two-time All-Star the last 2 years. Doug in Berkeley, what's going on, Doug? How you doing?
Hey, guys, I'm doing great. Wow, thanks for taking the call.
Yes, sir.
How are you guys doing?
All right.
Doing well.
Hey, listen, Guru was talking about the physicality in the playoffs we're watching. I totally agree. But there's one thing missing, I think. You could trade for Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Anybody on the roster but Steph, obviously. You turn the ball over 20 times a game, and you're not going anywhere in the playoffs. Because I'm watching these same playoffs, and in addition to the physicality, the teams that are playing well are turning the ball over 8-10 times a game. They're not giving the other team, 8 or 10 extra shots at the basket. The problem is, as much as anybody on the roster, the problem is Steve Kerr not enforcing valuing the ball. I said it before, and I guarantee you, no matter who we trade for, if we play the way we've been playing and giving the other team all these extra shots, I don't care who we get. Please, Steve Kerr, drill these guys. That's my take. Thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate the call, Doug. 888-957-9570 is the number. People on the YouTube chat are saying that was a good call. I mean, they're not getting rid of Kerr, though. That's a problem.
No doubt.
He got a 2-year extension. I mean,
it's on the players too, man.
But not Wiggins. Apparently, it's not on Wiggins. Let me tell you the way they would look at this if people weren't homers. They would look at Andrew Wiggins and say, he was in a contract year in 2022. He got his contract, and ever since he got his contract, he's done nothing. He got his money, and he's mailed it in since then. And, honestly, you want to say I'm disrespecting Wiggins? What's he done the last 2 years? He may be dealing with something. He's never even said anything about it. He's been aloof. We have no idea what's going on with Wiggins. He's underachieved every year of his career, but one.
I don't care.
But you're going to give him that benefit. What do you mean?
I'm just care about him in the Warrior uniform.
Okay, well, he hasn't been good.
And you want to write off, and I'm just saying, you want to write off the 2022 chip where that was the best version of him. And you can't do that. What does that mean now? Well, the Warriors got to find out. Right. And all I'm saying is proceed with caution when you kick this dude to the curb if you don't get something back in return that's either equal or better.
Well, what is equal or better? What is equal or better to him?
I can shoot 40% from three. I can guard. And then when he balls, you come in here like Guru, and it's okay. Oh, Wiggins is playing good basketball. You act like he's 50. He's not. I'm 50. With the right conversation or something, Steiny.
There you go. You saw it in his eye.
Give him away for a box of annihilators. See it. You got me on that one.
I can't. Let's talk about somebody other than Wiggins.
Right.
Because
he's on your team right now.
Because I cannot believe, we have not been watching the same player for 2 years. And a strategy for the offseason for the Warriors isn't, let's cross our fingers and hope he's the player from 2 years ago. Come on. He's hurting them. Anyway, 888-957-9570 is the number. If you don't want to move Andrew Wiggins, that's understandable, but
it's for the right move, partner. That's all.
Don't try to tell me he's been good. He has not been good. He was a big reason last year why the Warriors did not make the playoffs.
Was it the only Draymond Green?
About the same.
I know. I would, and I'm sticking up for Wiggins, but I would say that's not fair.
Well, he had a terrible year. You know that.
But he showed up. He showed up.
You're right. He had a good stretch of 10 games.
He didn't lose his composure and didn't get a pass like he always does, like Draymond. They didn't make the playoffs because of Draymond.
Well, I think it was
I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah, I think they didn't make the playoffs for a lot of reasons, and Draymond was one of them. I don't boil it down to that simple.
Too. It was number one on my list.
I mean, man, why is he their number one priority to move off of this summer, do you think?
Those are reports. I don't care about that. We don't even know if that's fact. That's like saying water's wet. They've been trying to move him allegedly for 2 to 3 years. So when I hear a report that Wiggins is like, okay, and the sun's coming up tomorrow. Talk to me when it's done.
All right.
Everybody want to run Wiggins out here because they're scared to say what the real problem is. Dude is one of your most talented ball players.
Why?
Defensively, offensively, and shooting.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not that player anymore. What do you need to? I don't know. What? He's not that player. I mean, I think there was a lot of things that happened to the Warriors that why they didn't make the playoffs. And Draymond was a big one. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, Andrew Wiggins, he
wasn't bad last year.
He has reached the point of, this is what I feel. You can disagree.
Go ahead.
Addition by subtraction at this point. Because he's so unreliable. You really think you could get back deep into the playoffs with Wiggins right now? I don't even think he wants to be here.
Well, damn.
He certainly hasn't shown he wants to be here. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. You want to jump into Warriors off-season with us, and we can talk Andrew Wiggins. I mean, what's the priority for Warrior fans of Andrew Wiggins? I mean, it's like, to me, I think he's got to go. And I would try to move him. And the reports are that the Warriors want to try to move him. And it's a big part of their offseason. But are you with Guru? And they got to be careful. And do you think Wiggins can ever return to the player he was? I mean, if he can recreate 2022, I'm all in. But can he do that? 888-957-9570 is the number. And don't forget to download the Odyssey app. And here's another thing we're doing. We're giving away a Steph Curry jersey. Make sure to listen next week, the week of June 3rd. Every show will give you an opportunity to win a Steph Curry autographed jersey. Here's when you listen, 7:30, 12:30, and 4:30 all week on 95.7 The Game. Steph Curry autographed jersey.